Now you may be wondering, will I ever do an intro that isn't daft, that isn't stupid, and is completely normal? No. But nevertheless, welcome back to episode 11 of the Viktoria Köln story. Now, as you can see from the screen, on the whole finances option, we're at that stage of the season again where at the start of the season, finances were beautiful. We were able to buy as many Freddos, Haribos and terrible players as we wanted. But now we're struggling to pay the rents, basically anything that is more than 5p at this point, we're struggling to afford. So we're in a bit of a slog for the final few months of the season, but hopefully the financial impact of getting the money from the league will help us a lot, and we won't get deducted points or get sacked or get relegated. That's what basically I'm terrified of. So yeah. But if we get into what has happened since the last episode, which was against Kaiserslautern, that was it, where we drew 2-2 at home. And since then, we've had a fair chunk of matches in between then and now. 2 of them were friendlies, so we've only played, 8 games. 8 games we played since then. So been a lot of time past, about 2 months or so, and we are obviously currently at the end of January. So I will say now there's no January transfers, so we don't need to go into that because we haven't got the money to afford it. So I'm sure you all realise this by now. But we will start going through these matches. We'll start off at Magdeburg where we drew 3-3. We'll because there's a quite fair chunk of games that we need to get through. We won't be as sort of specific with them just because there wasn't really a lot to say about these matches. But the 3-3 in particular, they got a last minute goal. Of course they did. That's 2 matches in 2 episodes where they've got, or 3 episodes, where they've got a last minute goal to take away the 3 points with us. I feel like a dog without a bone when they do that. You know, when they dangle like a bone in front of you, or a sweet in this case. I'm not a dog, but when they dangle a sweet in front of you and they just take it away. Heartbreak. It was Heartbreak City. So that went pretty well. But Junglas, Seaton Jones all getting themselves on the score sheet. Unfortunately, we didn't get ourselves them 3 points, which would have helped us a hell of a lot. It's going to be annoying. I have to go all the way down. So we then played Aachen, where Aachen beat them 4-1. Fairly easy game. There wasn't really any sort of like worry about us losing this. We got the lead fairly early on through 19 minutes through Lars Dietz, and we went 4-0 up before they pulled one back. It could have been 5 or 6 or 7-1 at this rate. We were getting so many chances that we were probably unlucky to only score 4, but a win is a win, and we're definitely not complaining. But we scored 4 against these lot. The next game we conceded 4, so a goal difference had no effect on anything. VfL Bochum, obviously they got relegated last year from Bundesliga 2, so they're pretty dominant in this league. They've only lost 1 all year, 56 points, although the league is pretty close at the moment at the top between Erzgebirge and VfL Bochum. But going into this game, I wasn't expecting anything really. I wasn't really expecting a result just because of how tough they are. But a 4-0 battering was a little bit upsetting because you never expect our side to get beat 4-0 or, get absolutely dominated. Unterhaching were probably quite unlucky not to score 7. Carrying on. But then we went to a Rostock, beat them 2-1 away from home. They initially took the lead in the 14th minute, but we managed to pull 1 back and pull 2 back, actually, to get ourselves a goal advantage just before half-time. And for the second half, basically boring. It's boring as watching paint dry. That's how boring that second half was. But then we went to FC Bayern's second team. And I didn't actually realise this, but Bayern Munich's second team don't actually get promoted. They always stay in this league. So if Bayern are up there, the position they're in will essentially drop to the position behind them. So that playoff spot would normally be with Bayern because they're in third. But because they don't register for it for some reason, it goes to Kaiserslautern. So that is a little bit more of a sort of incentive for us to try and keep building towards them higher positions, because if we can get past Kaiserslautern, we will get into that playoff position. So there is still that minuscule chance that we can do it. But we did get dominated at home by these. I mean, you'd expect that from FC Bayern's second side, right? So there probably wasn't much to be too unhappy about. But then a bore 0-0 game against Duisburg. Nothing really happened in this game. 4 bookings for them, though. So they're maybe lucky not to get a man sent off. Fairly even in terms of stats. Nothing really happened. It was one of them. I don't think we had a single highlight in this match. So that probably shows how boring this game was. But then we had a massive break for a good, at least a month. So we played 2 friendlies, Young Boys and HSC Hanover, winning 1 and drawing 1. No one got injured during this, thankfully. But then we had 2 clashes against Garching and Meppen, and both of these boys are actually quite far down in the table, so I was expecting a 6-pointer from this fairly comfortably. But Garching, as you'd expect, we got a 3-1 win. Curtis Jones sealing it in the 91st minute to make sure they didn't have a chance of coming back. But then the Meppen game, last-minute goal, once again, done us dirty. Eric Moran getting himself sent off straight after half-time with, quite frankly, a silly challenge. They actually took the lead up to the 70th minute, where Curtis Jones and Seaton got us 2 goals in 3 minutes to make sure that we got that goal advantage once again. But then Julius Ducour broke our hearts, and once again, so many times that's happened this year. I just expect it at this point. I just expect to get my heart broken. But 91st goal only gave us a point, which is very, very disappointing. But that does leave us in 5th in the table. And as I said at the start of the episode, we are in that little bit of sort of like limbo state at the moment. The board are really, really happy with where we're performing and how we're performing, because we're, 9 points clear of 10th. So there's not really any risk of us getting out of the top half. But I did say at the start of the year, especially with the advantage we have with our players at the moment, like Curtis Jones and all the other players we have on loan, that we should be, I really want to challenge for these spots, man. We need to start progressing a little bit, otherwise we're going to be in this stagnant phase, which I really don't want to be stuck in. But we have a tough game against Braunschweig now. They have dropped off a little bit, currently in 7th. They are on horrific run of form. Wow. How many games is that? For 7 games. 6 games. 6 games they haven't won for. Wow. And no doubt they'll beat us about 7-0 in this game. So we'll go over to the team sheet. And you know the rest. You know the rest. Nothing important. But Pellegrini's trying to be the big dog around here, and we need to sort him out. He's unhappy that he's not starting as many games as he should. Pellegrini, mate, what are you chatting? You've got a lot of football. Fine, Eros, you've twisted my arm and you've got your way. Don't say I don't do anything for you, boy. Okay, so we are at the tactics screen. So we have adjusted the tactic that little bit. We've changed stuff like pressing forward, inside forward, and Carolello on the right-hand side as well. And we'll see what our assistant says, see if he does anything absolutely ridiculous. He is doing something ridiculous, so we're immediately going to change that. We have a few injuries, which is a bit of a problem. So pressing forward is going to be Michael Seaton on a fantastic run of form. Large dates alongside Mark Rissell. Deep line playmaker of... We have a few people suspended, which is a bit of a problem. And then Felix... Yeah, we'll play Felix there. Play Curtis Jones. The attacking side of things basically picks itself. And then centre-back options of Kilman and Sheed, and then a goalkeeper of Andre Vase. That's the side we're going to be with. And now, we have got 7 days between now and then, so we are going to give our boys a little bit of a rest, just so we're not knackered by the start of the game. But I will see you in just a second. Okay then, here we are. Let's get into the game. And a few of the boys are currently not got great match fitness, which isn't a good start. And Yates and Junglas hate each other. Hadrovic and Kilman hate each other as well. So this is clearly going to go very well. So we'll have to wait and see. But fingers crossed we get a result here. Obviously, at home, you'd expect us to get something. Going for a bog standard 4-4-2. I call it boring. They may call it revolutionary. But, we'll have to wait and see. Team talk time. The fact that they haven't won a game in 6 games. If we lose here, I'm going to be so annoyed. It's going to be unreal. Okay, set piece. And it looks like it's going to be for Braunschweig unless we can get the ball and do a little counter-attack. And Kensea. Nerig playing it around well here, Braunschweig. But if we can nip in, maybe it's a good ball out to the right-hand side. Defending as a unit, which is nice to see. And it's a poor ball out. And it's intercepted by our boys. Rissell, Yates, Kilman, Pellegrini. Someone tells me this is going to be our highlight, as long as we don't lose it here. Kilman, Junglas, Rissell. Lovely ball out to Andrade. He's going to finish this. Goes all the way. What a save that is. Dornbusch with a fantastic save. He was quickly surrounded there, Andrade. So he did well to do what he actually did, and it's good hands there from the keeper. Poor set piece from us. It's looking good, though. One chance already. There's another chance very quickly. Oh, Lord. What? Let's watch that again. Just so you know. Are you kidding? Are you right? I'm so bad. If this is as bad as I think it is. Still 1-1. That didn't just happen. So it's still 0-0. It's still 0-0. Don't worry about it. We just need a goal and we got 3 points. I've just realised this is still very, very slow. So let's probably change that. There we go. That is too fast. It's like the FM version of Three Little Bears. It could be 2-0 here. Good save by Vase. At least he haven't slammed it into someone's head and made him do a diving head into our own goal. Are you kidding me? Okay, 10 minutes from half-time, still 1-0 to Braunschweig, and we haven't really created anything here, so we might have to do a little bit of change at half-time. And it looks like we are going to go into half-time. Indeed, we are. 1-0 down. Quite frankly, I think we were unlucky because the goal was ridiculous, but we can't delve on that too much. What do I change here? Let's go back for that. Let's go a little bit more attacking. Let's take it to them a little bit. We'll change Pellegrini to a fullback attack, and we'll change Enrique to a fullback attack as well, because we're going to have to commit men forward here if we're going to get ourselves a result. Fantastic. Brilliant. That's gone well. Our best right winger is now injured, so this can only mean that Hotzfeller is going to come on. That is a bit of a problem. If that's long term, there is going to be tears. But if we can intercept it, it's a poor tackle. They've still got the ball annoyingly. Dornbusch. I don't know what I said there. It's a big pump forward. Don't mess this up. Lovely. Vase. Get ourselves a goal now. Would be nice. Pello Enrique. Seaton. Jones. She's going to go all the way. And rightly so. Lovely save there from their keeper. Keeper's having a good game, but it's still a set piece. Hopefully a little bit better than last time. Nearly Seaton to get there. Junglas. Another chance maybe. Kilman. And it goes to nothing. Okay, 20 minutes gone. We're going to have to change something. I think we're going to have to commit men forward again. I'm going to have to bring Wunderlich on. We're going to change him to a shadow striker. And Seat into a deep line playmaker. See if we can. We'll change Jones to a support role as well. See if we can get him a little bit more in behind. But we need to get ourselves a goal here. We can't afford to lose. And of course, Braunschweig are going to get a win by the looks of it. Their first win in ages. And it could be 2-0 here. It's a poor defending. Such poor defending. It's typical of our side, that. Typical of our side. That's going to be Braunschweig's first win in 6. That's shocking. And who are you? You're not playing next game. Rissell, you're a clown, mate. Idiot. 5 minutes to go and not really much I can do. I feel like we're very unlucky. We've had the shots that they're on target. We just haven't been able to convert. And that does bring the game to an end. A 2-0 loss against Braunschweig is absolutely horrendous there. And no excuses for that. Our boys just didn't perform in the slightest, and this is going to be long term. Could be worse. It could be worse. Focus on your recovery, Felix. I have faith in you, mate. But that does leave us with a very unlikely chance of getting into them playoff positions unless Kaiserslautern basically have an absolute horrific run end to the season. But that is going to bring to the end of the episode, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to have about two episodes till the end of the year. So what we're going to do, we're going to come back for the Welsh game, and then what we'll do from there, if there's anything to play for, we do have Bayern in the last game actually, and we do have to play Kaiserslautern as well. We'll come back for the Welsh game at home, and then if there's anything to play for, we will come back for the final few games of the season. But once again, thank you all so much for watching. Very much appreciated as always. Feel free to leave comments, give me some feedback, anything that I could do better. Everything is very much appreciated. But thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you episode 12. Goodbye.